Hey, welcome to this Social Scavenger walkthrough video. We're going to go through today building a game. We're going to look a lot at the features, probably at about 95% of all of the settings. So this is a real detailed walkthrough of the back-end system to show you how to build a great game. If you're looking for something quicker, there's a 5-minute video on how to create a game in 5 minutes. So I'd recommend checking that out if you want something quicker. Okay, so basically, what we see on the right here is the game builder. So that's found by going to app.socialscavenger.com. When you get there, you're just going to sign in on the top right-hand corner, and then it's going to take you right to the game builder. If it doesn't, just click onto the game builder. Once you've clicked on the game builder and you hit Create Game, this is where you'll be, in the settings section of the game builder. So we're going to look at the settings section here. Over there on the left is my iPhone, and that's got this particular game opened up that's already been created. We'll refer to that sometimes. So over here in the basic mandatory section, to get your game set up, at the very basic, you just need a game name. So there's something to search and find. You need a game description. It can be very short and not give much away about the game, or you can have all kinds of stuff in there about event details and whatnot. Game image, optional, but if you want to have a branded image or something associated with your game, just load that up by clicking on here and picking a file, a JPEG or PNG. And then a game entry code. Now, game entry codes are case sensitive, so don't do something where you have half small, half uppercase, unless you really want to walk your users through that. Primary email, that's so we can get in touch with you if there's anything we notice about your game or there's a reason to contact you. And then agree to terms of use. You could do simply that, and then here at the top hit save and move into the challenges and start building your game. Because this is the longer walkthrough, we're going to look at these advanced options. So let's start with game mode. A typical game is set to start anytime. The reason for that is typically, not typically, but often games will be run in person. There'll be someone there hosting it, people show up, they're doing this as a group. What you can do is you can set your game for scheduled. So if you know your game is happening Saturday for the weekend, or say Saturday afternoon, we could go in and set a start date and an end date for the game, picking the times, of course, and picking the time zone. And what that's going to do is your players can now still go in, download the app, search for your game, find your game, and join your game. But when they get there and they click on this challenges button at the top, it's going to be blank. They're not going to see any challenges in there. So you can have them, as far along as they can get, but then they're not going to be able to see the game until it actually starts. You could override that anytime by coming in and click start anytime, and then they're off and running. Also, if you want to stop a game, again, we could schedule a game so it starts Saturday and it runs from 1 to 4. But maybe I'm at the game and I've started it late. It's a start anytime game and I want it to end at 4:30, but I don't want to mess around with the scheduled concept. I can just come in here and select stopped. That means the game stopped. Once again, when someone clicks on the challenges, they're going to find the list is empty. If you do stop a game or schedule a game, there is a setting further down here you have to set, and that's about early submissions and late submissions. Do you want people to submit content that comes in early outside of your game times? You're going to say reject. Do you want late submissions to count? Again, you're going to say reject. So that's just the default setting if you're going to be doing a timed game. Time to complete. Your other option is I could say, yeah, it's a start any time game, but I'm giving people 60 minutes. So how that's going to work is the first time they complete a submission, it's going to log that on the server, and it's going to say, okay, it's 1:02 p.m. Now they've got till 2:02 p.m., and then we stop accepting submissions. Again, set your settings down here to say reject early, reject late, and now people can start at different times. So you could say, hey, you've got to get this activity done this weekend. Or you've got X amount of time. So that's something you can use as well. For this default game, we're just going to not set that. Promotion, contact us if you want to promote your game. In terms of search, if you want your game not to be searchable in the app, you're going to set it to hidden. That means you just don't want people to find it while you're working on it or whatnot. You can't have a game that's hidden that you expect people to join, obviously, because when they go to actually search the game on this search game screen, they're not going to be able to find it because it's hidden. So for people to find your game, it has to be standard. Leader, board, visible, hidden. So, you know, the leaderboard's exciting. People can see how they're doing in the game. They can see the last submission to go through. They can see their points and realize, oh, we got to hurry up to catch up, etc. But towards the end of the game, maybe with half an hour to go, what you might want to do is come in here and hide the leaderboard. What that's going to do is when people come back to your end event, they're not actually going to know who won in the end until you do your announcement. So for people doing announcements after and award shows and things like that, great. You might want to hide the leaderboard manually at any time. Or you can choose to hide it for the whole game if you don't want it there. In terms of categories, if you're building templates on our system, you might have 5 different games that you run around LA or any city or anywhere. And you can set those as templates, which means you can easily copy them in the future. So I could have a game called Hollywood in 60 minutes, a scavenger hunt people do running around Hollywood, and then I could come in and I could copy it anytime from the main game builder system. And that creates me a copy of the game. Now I can customize it for that particular event, that client, or what have you. So it's good to have templates in the system if you're going to do multiple games with Social Scavenger. Otherwise, set your game to active. Unlock style. Unlock style refers to the game being played in offline mode. So, you know, we have a client in India. They often will play their games in offline mode simply because they have bad data. So they'll download the app, they'll join the game from their starting location, and then people will run out in the city in offline mode, complete all the challenges, and they'll get back to their main location, turn their Wi-Fi on, and it'll load up all the challenges. So what unlock style does is it means if one challenge is locked to another, if it's online, it means we have to see that challenge get unlocked on our server. So we have to confirm, hey, we know they submitted that photo and the photo was okay. If we set it to offline mode, we're going to let it unlock no matter what, because someone's playing this game and they're offline, so they do a challenge, it's going to unlock any challenge locked to it. Unlocked by completing, we're not going to use that. Reviewers, I wouldn't suggest filling this in. We now have an approval section, which we'll look at a little later. If you fill this in, every single submission will trigger an email to whatever email you put in there. So just beware if you're going to do that, you might want to have a secondary email you're going to use for that. Otherwise, you're just going to use our approvals section, which if we scroll back up here, we can see there's a link to it right here, and that's going to show all the content coming in. Okay, so that covers reviewers. Now moderation. Again, what we suggest is you let people take a photo, submit the photo, and say that's worth 10 points. We're going to give them the 10 points. Right away, we're going to assume they took a photo of what you said and not a photo of the floor. So, you know, we still, at the end of the day, want to validate, hey, did the team who won actually win? So we set moderation to post-stream. That means the flow of the game goes on, people are submitting things, they're earning points, the live stream is filling up with content. And then after the game, we're going to go through the winning team in the approvals area, take a look and see did they cheat on anything, and as we adjust the point values, we can see, hey, are they still in first, or maybe now they're in second and the team in first we can review. So if you're doing a game with hundreds of teams, you don't want to be reviewing hundreds of teams' content. It's you know, a long process. So if you set it to pre-stream, it'll do the opposite. Pre-stream means the challenge will just queue up. So I took a photo, I took it of what I was supposed to take it, but until someone in the back end says, yes, I approve this, the system's still waiting. So you're not earning any points on the leaderboard, etc. So again, set this to post-stream unless you have a really good reason not to. The people who don't, for example, are a big brand, who want to make sure that no one's doing anything against their brand, and they've got the game public and they've got all the content streaming to their website and things like that. Early submissions and late submissions, we talked about that. Players being able to export content. So this is just an option to be able to send your players into the game after, and they can come in and export all this content. We'll show you how to export the content yourself, which is probably what you want to be doing, unless you're a team building company, and then we'll talk about this feature specific to you. Share your players' location, so that's just if we want to include their map location on the live stream. So, you know, there's a web stream that could show someone's supposed to be at X location and taking this photo, and you can see if they're actually there. And then pricing. So you can try this for free. So again, I could just save this. Once I save it, I could go into my game, log into Social Scavenger, find my game, and join it on the app. Once I'm ready to pay, I pick my license type. Commercial license starts at games of licenses of 10. It's $30 a team for a corporate game. Again, there's different license styles for personal game, educational, not-for-profit games that all have a variety of prices. If you have a bigger game or you're doing something unique, just give us a call and we'll figure out the pricing that works for your game. So that's it for the settings. That takes us through the basic and the mandatory. We're at the 10-minute mark, so we're going to move over here and we're going to jump into challenges. So the way challenges work is there's a big red button at the top that says add new challenges. But let's stop for a second and take a look at the user flow. So if you look at the phone over here on the left, you can see the first thing someone sees is challenges. So your player is logged into the app and they've joined your game. We skipped that part. And so there's my team at the top, Friendly Bunch. I've completed 0% of the challenges. So there's a list of available challenges, there's the list of completed challenges, and I can search through the list of challenges, which is great if I've looked through a list of 50 challenges and later I'm trying to find the one where, oh, where's the challenge with the Ferrari involved with it, so I can just quickly search a word and pull it up. So as far as a user goes, they can scroll through, they can see all the challenges. There's 6 different challenge types. They go ahead to complete challenges. They click in, they can read the details about a challenge, they can see how many points it's worth in the top right, and on the bottom right they can always go ahead and complete challenges. As people complete challenges, they move from the available to the completed tab. They get populated into the live stream, where I can go and see what anyone's doing at any particular time. There's some trivia answers, there's some people, oh, that's not a great one.